I was a circus performer. Compared to what people pull off today, a pretty bad one. Compared to back then, well, still solidly mediocre. But this is the thing. I convinced myself that that's what I wanted to be. Being a circus performer wasn't just a profession, it was how I self-defined. And being young, I was protected by a thick layer of inflated self-esteem, convinced I was onto something big. Now, I always considered myself a creative. The problem is when you work on a highly skilled physical discipline like juggling, spending months perfecting one trick, that your creativity easily narrows down. But I continued to do my acts, even though time moving on, slowly the reality seeped through the cracks that probably I would never do anything really special, present anything special, till one day this happened. So I was performing my head juggling routine. You get the idea? And I was just getting to the crucial moment. The double flip, foot to head throw. Right at this moment, that decides about success or failure, I looked into the audience. Maybe a quarter was actually looking at my place, towards me. So suddenly I had this epiphany. What are you doing with your life? All this effort for that? Because, let me explain. Just to keep the head in place, I actually have to activate about 45% of quadriceps, 38 of sartorius, and a whopping 61 of gluteus maximus. Just to keep the head in place. These values increase dramatically if I actually try to launch the head onto my head. What if I could change all that? What if I could do the same throw without straining my muscles, taking out human error, and ultimately creating something magical for the audience? Magic. Suddenly, the famous quote of the science fiction writer Arthur C. Clarke popped into my head. Any sufficiently advanced technology is indistinguishable from magic. I was onto something. Because magic, that's what we want to create here on stage. Something you can't really put in words. Ephemeris. What if I would use technology to get there? So, a trip to Bunnings, a day in the shed, and I came back with this. Now, all I had to do was a quick stomp with my foot. Done. 3, 2, still. I thought, why not taking out the probability of error of my unreliable stomp? Another trip to Bunnings, another day in the shed. Evolution. Now, all I had to do was to place myself properly, drop the weight, done. 3, 2, 1, still. I thought, why wearing myself out with this exhausting movement of opening my fingers? Life could be much easier. So, I came back with this. great juggler to creative theatre maker. It didn't just change the act, it changed my whole approach to art and life. It was as if by reinventing the act of throwing a head, I was actually reinventing my creative journey. I began to see beauty and humor in over-engineering, in creating layers of complexity. I started to develop new tools that would help me to express lots of quirky ideas. Contraptions, shadow theater, puppetry, and finally, real storytelling invaded my work. My life changed dramatically. The daily grind of practicing circus routine gave way to playful explorations, and my collaborations became about shared curiosity, about reinventing the obvious and turning it into something magical, embracing the absurd, and intricate. This led to award-winning creations, to invitations to perform all over Australia, and to community projects with more than 100 people involved. The shift from performer to creative innovator, in my case, Complicate, simply think, was the start to a whole different journey. I have to be really careful now.